The Reverend Philip Willard was no stranger to Perry County, Pennsylvania when he traveled there in 1867. He had earlier served as the pastor of the Lutheran Church in Loysville, and so was aware of the Tressler Classical Academy, an academic institution that Colonel John Tressler and his son Captain David Lloyd Tressler had established in Loysville in 1855, and then 10 years later, as the Civil War ended, turned into one of the nation's first soldiers' orphans' homes. Accompanied by his attorney, Daniel Epley of Harrisburg, Willard had one intention: to purchase the orphanage for the Lutheran Church. His mission was successful, and very early in 1868, the Perry County Court granted a charter for the Tressler Orphans Home, a century and a half ago. Named the home's first superintendent, Willard spent the next year on the road, raising $4,000 to equip the institution to serve poor orphan children, educating them physically, intellectually, morally, and religiously, and extending over them a wholesome guardianship. Similarly, a few decades later, the second major root of the history of today's Diakon arose in Topton, Pennsylvania. Lutherans from the Berks County region had come together in 1894 to ask what can be done on behalf of the orphans. They quickly took action and purchased a 105-acre farm in the fall of 1896 in Topton. A charter was soon granted for what eventually would be known as the Lutheran Home at Topton. Within a year, construction of Topton's old main building was underway. The Reverend Uriah P. Heilman, the first superintendent, breaking ground for the building himself by forming the shape of a cross in those first excavations. During the next 70-plus years, both homes grew and flourished. The Tressler home served as many as 331 children in a single year. Known as Tresslertown, the home had its own banking system, fire department, and vocational training, becoming nationally known for the printing of church envelopes. Its boys' band was famous for touring Pennsylvania and surrounding states. The Topton home also grew, serving children from throughout eastern Pennsylvania, and becoming a focal point, its iconic old main building a symbol of service visible for miles. And its Putz train board, created largely by Mrs. Ida Henry, spouse of the superintendent J.O. Henry, a delight for children and neighbors, even to this day. In addition to its care for children, the Lutheran Home at Topton became an early provider for services to older adults, using funds raised in 1907 to open a building on campus in 1940 to house 10 aged guests. By the 1950s, both homes had recognized significant changes in society, with orphanages no longer the preferred setting for serving children, and had begun the process of launching community-based services. As group homes and foster care became more common in the 1960s, the Tressler Board made the difficult decision to close the home, selling its buildings and grounds. Topton chose to retain its campus, growing it into a continuing care retirement community that became part of Lutheran Senior Services through a transaction with Diakon in 2024. Today, Old Main at Topton is home to the Helen Palmer Permanency Center for Diakon Adoption and Foster Care, and several other Diakon administrative offices.